Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. Because Doctor Who is coming back really soon and so many of you guys found me because of something else, I wanted to do a video for everyone who has never seen it before, just explaining where to start and why it is the most fun hour you will ever spend watching TV. I'm also starting my weekly Doctor Who giveaway. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave a comment on this video. But I'll be listing all the episodes that you should start with, as well as some suggestions for other things for Peter Capaldi, who's going to be the new actor playing the Doctor. And just to clarify, the giveaway is basically just like a $20 Amazon gift card. If you're international, it's PayPal, so it's really simple. So right now, people are calling Guardians of the Galaxy the most fun Marvel movie ever. Well, think of Doctor Who as being like the most fun science fiction ever. So, most important stuff first. Episode 1 of Series 8, that's the new season, is going to air on August 23rd. That's a Saturday. On August 25th, you can actually go into cinemas all over the world and see it on like the big screen. So I'll have information about that in the description. So the reason this new series is such a big deal is because it's a brand new actor playing the Doctor, Peter Capaldi, meaning that the show is going to go in a completely new direction. Each new actor that takes on the role honors previous Doctors with catchphrases, affectations, or clothes they wear. It just had a 50th anniversary last year, so there's a pretty deep well of character traits to draw from. But each new actor kind of brings something new to the role. So if you've never seen Peter Capaldi before, I'll have some suggestions for other stuff of his to watch. One of the really special things about being part of the Doctor Who fandom is that it exists in this special territory, the special pantheon of fandoms like Tolkien and Star Wars, whereby, you have really old material, so you have really old fans and really new fans that are just discovering it for the first time. It's also one of the reasons why no one can agree which Doctor is the best, just because everyone started at a different point. Everyone has their own Doctor that introduced them to the series. And another big thing that sets Doctor Who apart from other science fiction series or other genre series in general is that, unlike, say, Game of Thrones, which takes its universe very seriously, Doctor Who will do fantasy stories, it'll do horror stories, it'll do drama, it'll do relationship comedy, like during Matt Smith's run. It does all different things. Like you can go from hard sci-fi with a story like the Doctor traveling to the end of time, or traveling outside normal space to interact with creatures the size of asteroids. But there was this one episode, back when Matt Smith was still a Doctor, where there were 2 Harry Potter actors and dinosaurs on a spaceship. And unless you were made of stone, you ended up crying when one of those dinosaurs died at the end of the episode. It's really strange, some of the genres that it jumps around, but that's what makes it so much fun. One of the biggest taglines is, all of time and space, where do you want to go? Like there are no limits on what kind of stories that it can do. Because it's become such a big part of the culture in the UK and in the last 10 to 20 years all over the rest of the world, it's a big watermark for famous actors to guest star on the show. Like I just mentioned the 2 Harry Potter actors. Those were actually Mark Williams, who was Arthur Weasley, and David Bradley, who was Argus Filch. He also plays Walder Frey on Game of Thrones. It's not something you think about all the time, but a good way to think about the show is crossing the fandom streams. Like Doctor Who does stories that cross a lot of different fandoms. So for anyone who's brand new to the series or who hasn't watched Doctor Who for a while, Peter Capaldi is going to be the most important thing about this new run. His Doctor Who episodes will be completely different from Matt Smith's Doctor Who episodes. Whenever Matt Smith was Doctor, there was a lot of relationship comedy going on just because he was so young, and a lot of the companions were very attractive. But Peter Capaldi is one of the oldest actors to play the role, so obviously they're not going to be doing that during his run. Supposedly now the show is going to look more like classic horror sci-fi. Whenever I say things like that, in my head I'm thinking like classic Sigourney Weaver Alien, like that first Alien movie. But think of it more as like Jack the Ripper with time travel. Really, you can expect lots of different types of genres, lots of different scary stories crossing different genres. The tagline for the first big trailer for this new series was Doctor Who Into Darkness, which for me was probably the most exciting thing the BBC could have put in that trailer. It just sounds so awesome. So the next big thing about Doctor Who is the rotating cast of companions and secondary characters. Companions are people who travel with the Doctor full time. There are usually only a couple of them around at any one time, and right now, Clara Oswald is the only one, played by Jenna Louise Coleman. But supposedly, we're actually going to meet a few new ones after the first few episodes in Series 8. The secondary characters and the villains are usually where you see those really famous British actors show up. When they cast someone who's really well known or who's already a really established actor, usually they get a really amazing character to play, but they don't stick around for a long time. Peter Capaldi, the person who's playing the new Doctor, was actually a big guest star when David Tennant was playing the Doctor. That was before Matt Smith. It's a pretty big Easter egg for the fandom, and now everyone's wondering if Capaldi's earlier character on the show will have anything to do with the story this year. Most people probably know Peter Capaldi from In the Thick of It. Capaldi plays this character called Malcolm Tucker, and he has the most foul mouth you have ever heard. It's hilarious. If you do a search for him on Tumblr, it's all gifs of him dropping F-bombs. It's so great. Next, if you really want to catch up on Peter Capaldi, Torchwood Children of the Earth is really good to watch. Capaldi plays another morally ambiguous person of authority who's forced to do some really awful things in the name of survival. This is also on Hulu. It's Torchwood Season 3 basically, but it's only available on Hulu Plus, and it's also available on Netflix. Then you could watch his episode of Doctor Who. He was on during Series 4, Episode 2. It's called The Fires of Pompeii. It's only available on Hulu Plus and Netflix too, but it also stars Karen Gillan in a different role before she became a full-time companion during Matt Smith's run. She's actually in full body makeup, just like she is during Guardians of the Galaxy. She plays Nebula in that movie. So here's an episode guide for which episodes to watch if you've never watched Doctor Who before, or if you just want to reboot your brain before Series 8 starts. Every time a new Doctor comes on, they're really good about explaining the basics, so don't worry if you've never watched Doctor Who before. This is going to be really easy to jump on. So I'll have links to all this stuff in the description too, but for an introduction to the show's core concepts like regeneration and time travel, from Series 1, there's Episode 2, The End of the World, Episode 9 and 10, Empty Child, and The Doctor Dances, Episodes 11 and 12, Bad Wolf, and Parting of Ways. So that's like the bare minimum, just the basics. Then if you get through that and you want to watch a little bit more, move on to Series 2. There's Series 2, Episode 2, School Reunion, Episodes 5 and 6, Rise of the Cybermen and Age of Steel. Then there's Series 3, Episode 10, Blink, Hello Weeping Angels. And then there's the TV special, The End of Time, so you can learn all about the Master. Then, moving on, Series 5, Episode 10, Vincent and the Doctor, one of the finest episodes of Doctor Who ever. Then there's the 2012 Christmas special, The Snowman. And then to learn all about the current companion, Clara, all the episodes from Series 7, Part 2. After you watch all that, you're basically current with the show, but there are a few specials that are a little more advanced and deal with some of the other Doctors. Essentially, it's all the specials surrounding the 50th anniversary and Matt Smith's regeneration. There's The Night of the Doctor, that's actually free on YouTube. I'll add a link for that in the description too. The Day of the Doctor, and then The Time of the Doctor, that's Matt Smith's regeneration into Peter Capaldi. Those two episodes are only on Amazon, so you do have to pay for them to watch them, but I'm sure the BBC and BBC America will replay them. So that's a pretty long list. That should keep you pretty busy until Series 8 gets here. Again, there's a link in the description with specific links to each of those episodes on Netflix and Hulu. And if you just want the basics, just watch the episodes from Series 1. But here's the details on the videos that I'm going to be doing because, you know, part of the fun of Doctor Who is looking for Easter eggs and references to old episodes. So whenever I start posting episode videos, I'll have like a bonus video I'll post first, which will explain like a core concept that's dealt with in each episode. And then I'll have my episode review, and then I'll have a Q&A video where we'll just dive deeper into the biggest questions that you guys have. And if there's ever anything that you guys want to spend more time talking about, just let me know in the comments and we'll just focus on that stuff. Right now, there are a couple legal places where you can watch Doctor Who every week. There's BBC One in the UK, and people in America watch it on BBC America. Then in Canada, there's Sky One. I'm not completely sure where all the international territories aired on, but if you've ever watched Doctor Who before, just watch it on the same channel. Or if you're not sure, just check your local listings. And if you do live in a country where they do not air Doctor Who, and you use streaming to watch your TV shows, just continue to do that. I am so excited. You guys have no idea. This is going to be such a fun series. I know it's supposed to be scary, you know, classic horror, but it's going to be so much fun. I actually just quit my job. If you guys didn't see the video I posted a while ago, but I timed it so that my last day was like the week before Doctor Who came back, just so that I would have some time to get ready because I have to move to a new apartment. Doctor Who was actually the first video I did on my channel whenever I started. That was for the 2012 Christmas special. Please do not watch it. It is super embarrassing. It's a terrible video. I'd like to think that I got a little bit better at making videos since then, but while you guys are getting ready and watching some of those episodes that I listed, click here to get my breakdown of the latest trailer, and click here to learn about some of the new characters that are coming. Thank you so much for watching. You guys have no idea how much fun Doctor Who is going to be this year. I'll see you tomorrow. High fives.